This Eagle Owl, and today we got to talk about that Hurts versus Wentz. It's going to go down. Also, Micah Parsons dissing us, dissing the offense. And also, we got to talk about the trade rumors. And there's possibly a surprising cornerback out there who the Eagles can possibly get. But let's get straight into it. All right, man, before we get into the main topics, let's talk about the injury report. So far, so good if you ask me, but let's go over it. All right, so you had Grant Calcaterra still dealing with the oblique, aka rib injury, still not practicing. Then you got Jalen Carter Hill, who was a full participant on Wednesday, but now Thursday he was limited. You got Landon Dickerson still with the ankle limited. We're gonna watch Landon Dickerson, see if he play or not. Then you got Zach Bond dealing with a thumb, was a full participant. You have here Jordan Davis still with the shoulder, full participant, and Quinyon Mitchell, full participant. So this is really good. Look like Quinyon Mitchell is trending on playing. We know we have any shot of putting up a good defensive game, Quinyon Mitchell got to be out there, because I look at one of these games, us versus the Minnesota Vikings, and I know the Minnesota Vikings got a defense, but our offense got to shoot it out with them. If Quinyon don't play, now you might get a couple stops here and there. Quinyon versus Justin Jefferson is going to be epic, but they do got a guy opposite of him named Jordan Addison, who's really good too. So, yeah, man, this is gonna be epic, especially if we could get Quinyon to play, especially if we could get two halves out of this offense. I know the Giants game was terrible, but that first half of offense wasn't that bad. I thought we got Saquon involved, the wide receivers looked pretty good, the passing game was working. And just we're going to the second half. The Giants adjust. I hate that I'm still talking about this game, but I'm trying to make a point. Giants adjust. Offense really did not adjust, and we seen what happened. Couldn't put up any points in the second half. But if we could keep this a full game, I think we could shoot it out and win against the Minnesota Vikings. And again, especially having Quinyon Mitchell out there. So it'd be good to have him back. But before we get into the main topics, let's hear a word from our sponsor. ProfitX is a new peer-to-peer sports exchange where you could play against other fans and not the house. That means better lines and even a chance to set your own odds. Just sign up using my link below. Use promo code EagleOwl to get 1.5% back in ProfitX cash for your first 30 days up to $200. Right, as you see here. So look at the Sunday games, man. I think the Eagles are bounce back against Minnesota. I like the over on this one. I believe we're going to score a lot of points. We're going to see explosiveness from this offense. Non-Marcus right now, I'm pretty sure as the day goes and days goes, is going to be a lot more Marcus. But I like 43.5 here, and I like the Eagles to win and bounce back, man. I believe it's going to be a close one. So I would go money line here and the over on the Philadelphia Eagles. So again, man, if you want to get on the action, download the app, use promo code EagleOwl, or you could just simply click the link in my description, and let's get back into the video. All right, man, y'all seen I started to deep dive into the Vikings versus Eagles or Eagles versus Vikings. One of the things that came out, it looked like JJ McCarthy, looked like he won't play, looked like he's going to be out, and it's going to be Hurts versus Wentz in Minnesota. I mean, this is epic. I mean, huge. We talking about the guy who basically got you benched and out of town, and Hurts win the Super Bowl. And basically, I look at it as Carson Wentz contributed to the 2017 Super Bowl. Some people don't. Like, look, Nick Foles, if it wasn't for Nick Foles, we don't know Carson Wentz would have got it done. But Carson Wentz was on an MVP trajectory. And then it just went all downhill. Got too big-headed. Was doing okay with the Colts. Then the Colts eventually let him go. Then Washington, then this team, that team. And he looked decent in Minnesota. It's not the same Wentz, but he looked decent with those weapons. Then Jalen Hurts, doing his thing again in Philadelphia, wins the Super Bowl, been to a Super Bowl, been an All-Pro. I mean, how much can you ask for? I think Carson Wentz, if you ask me, he probably won his revenge. Now we got Isaiah Rodgers on the opposite side, who possibly want to get us now too, due to the Eagles fans talking junk all in his mentions. But it's going to be a showdown, man. It's going to be fun to watch Jalen Hurts versus Carson Wentz, especially with Jalen Hurts being the ultimate competitor and the things that were being reported at the time. I know Jalen Hurts went out there and said like him and Wentz, it was a great time, or they was cool with each other. But the reports that was coming out at that time was like, yo, like Carson Wentz basically shunning Jalen Hurts, trying to keep him out the way, which I understand because Carson Wentz didn't want to lose his job. He didn't want to lose his job and didn't really want to teach the young guy nothing. But Carson, you got to think, was young himself. It's not like Carson Wentz was a 12, 13-year vet. He was young, and then they bring in another young quarterback. He trying to beat him out, and it just didn't work out because Jalen Hurts got that competitive spirit. He wanted that spot. Jalen Hurts wanted that spot. Carson Wentz basically gave up, then won to fight for a spot. Send me somewhere else. That's exactly what the Eagles did. So it looked like the Eagles won that. Again, Super Bowl. We've been to a Super Bowl and lost. All pro year. And again, Carson Wentz career went downhill. But let's keep it NFC North, right? I don't know what's going on with the NFC North because a guy that used to play for the Cowboys, I know during the Giants game, he tweeted out, "This is not football. This is the tush push." And they asked him some questions about it, and this is what he had to say.
If you ask the Eagles offensive players, probably say that's the best thing we're doing on offense right now. Like, it's the most consistent thing they got. But that might come to bite me one day. But it is what it is. I hate that play. Like, the whole league hates that play. Like, I don't think you'll find one defensive player in the league that's like, oh yeah, go tush push. Like, we got to learn how to stop it. You can't stop it if they're leaving early. Like, it's impossible. Like, it's an unfair advantage. Like, you got 320-pound momentum coming early on the play. Like, whatever. But got to find a way.
I mean, if that wasn't a shot at the offense, well, that's probably the best thing they could do on offense. Everybody know our offense is not looking the best, at least for whatever you want to say, the first half or the second half. They're only giving us a half of football. And look, man, just let it go. Like, Micah Parsons, you was damn near Eagle. Stop this. You're not a Cowboy anymore. Your brother's still sucking up to them on Twitter. It seemed like you still sucking up to them right now, trying to diss the Eagles, sucking up to their fans. Like, cut it out. Cut it out. Actually, we'll see you, Micah Parsons, what? That's November 10th on a Monday. Coming off a bye, we get an extra day off. We going to see y'all. We going to see y'all. And that quote is going to bite y'all in the ass. So, again, Micah Parsons, stop the dissing. Stop doing it. You look corny. It seems corny. It's whack. And best of luck to you in Green Bay. You stuck in Green Bay. And our offense is terrible. I mean, right? You the same offense that put up 10 points against the Browns, and you put up 40 against the Cowboys, who can't guard me off the streets, who didn't play football in years. But that offense don't look that great in Green Bay. So where about what's going on in Green Bay? Where about there? Where about the Lions? Where about the Lions? Hell, you should be rooting for us to beat the Minnesota Vikings. So, look, shut up, Micah Parsons, all right? Stay out of NFC East business. Stay out of our business. You're an NFC North guy. Stay up there. All right? So, let's get into the last topic. So, a lot of trade rumors are coming up. We know the edge rusher Trey Hendrickson, Johnson the second or the third, I believe. Is it Jermaine second or the third? I don't know. I'm forgetting with the Jets. Those are edge rushers I possibly want. Well, not really Trey Hendrickson, but the cornerback room is coming up again. So Tariq Woolen, it was a rumor out there or some type of trade proposal. Basically, we get Tariq Woolen from the Seattle Seahawks and fifth. And then we give them Keely Ringo in the fourth. To me, that's not a bad trade at all. But this is one of the ones that Eagle fans are really mixed on. Like, no, he's just another Ringo. Or yes, he's better than Ringo and Adoree Jackson. When I see stuff like this, right, I usually go on Twitter and see what the Seahawks fans or the opposing team fans are saying. It gives me an idea how that fan base feel, because sometimes these reporters can lie. Sometimes these analyst guys can lie, have something fit their narrative. So that's exactly what I did. And let me show y'all what I did when I looked up what's going on with the Tariq Woolen thing. So I gets on Twitter, as you guys see. Right. So I'm looking at here. So this is ESPN. Bill Barnwell suggested that the Seahawks swap cornerbacks with the Eagles. Eagles get Tariq Woolen, 2026, 5th round. Seahawks get Kelee Ringo, 2026, 4th round. So Ringo has an extra year of team control, and he was slot in as a reserve cornerback. All right. So guess what I did? I seen that and seen that the lights and the comments. I'm like, okay, so this is not good. So I click on it. So let's read it. Let's see what they say. Who the fuck is Ringo? Look, Hawk Mania. This is what Seahawks fans are saying. Okay, so they not a fan of Ringo. Pretty understandable. Let's scroll. Keep Woolen. Somebody told me that they're trying to get rid of Tariq, but we'll see. Source. Made that up. Isn't Ringo about to move to safety? I thought he was struggling to cover him, man. After seeing Ringo get burnt to hell against the Giants, hell nah. So they don't want Ringo over there. Look what this guy said. Can we put this shit just blow? Can this shit just blow over already? Reed needs one good game to put this shit to rest. CJ has always been a fan of us. Hopefully he tosses Reek 1 or 2 Monday and we can quit hearing about these garbage ass trades. Reek for A-Chain, Reek for Kelee burnt toast Ringo. Get the fuck out of here. Ringo is dog shit. Will is slightly better. Why would we do that? Let's see what the guy said under here. Slightly. Woolen is a 2-time Pro Bowler. Kelee Ringo is a pimple on Tariq ass. Oh, snap, man. Shit, man. Well, you get the point, right? You guys get the point. They don't want Ringo. They like Tariq Woolen and Seattle. But the thing is, Seattle is going through the same thing we going through with our linebackers. Well, one of our linebackers might have to, move the edge. They got a lot of good cornerbacks there, and if they could get value out of them or some type of trade pick for a guy who's possibly not going to even play, why not do it? And another name that came up, because surprisingly, the Monday night game is on as I record this video, and Cam Taylor Britt for the Bengals, who supposed to have been the next guy up, who supposed to have been that top tier cornerback, he fell off. Can't lie, can't front. He fell off, and he was a healthy scratch. Like, they sat him the game, sat him out during this game that's on right now, the Bengals and the Steelers game, and the Bengals need that game, and it's a division game, and they's like, nah, we're gonna sit you out. That's not a good sign for him, and it sounds like he's going to be traded. And I seen some things, people saying he's dog shit ass. Some people saying he's good. He just need a new change of scenery. But did the same thing I did with this one. Let's see what the Bengals fans feel about Cam Taylor Britt possibly moving on. So this is for a beat reporter in Cincinnati. Cam Taylor Britt is inactive tonight against the Steelers. This is a healthy scratch as a coach decision. All right. So let's see what they say. So I thought they said DJ Turner and almost thought this game was going to end 100-0. His play has been spiraled downward since the comments about the Washington offense last year. Seems like he got a bit too big for his breaches after his early success. Couple lights on that one. Sorry, y'all. My mouse be messing up. Got too big for his breaches. Said might want to go back to college. Yeah, he definitely getting traded. They don't want to risk him getting hurt before they can deal him. I guess it is possible Zach did this to protect against Duke, but more likely a trade. Can we get a fifth pick for him? Sound like they want him out of town. Said, what a fall for the people who chose draft picks too. Yikes. Huge bust. I seen that. Sheesh. All right, so this is the sentiment from the fans in Cincinnati. He fell off. Man. Let me just grab this. Holy, organization should have Zach Taylor on the same lease again. Yeah, it seemed like they hate their coach there too. They don't like Zach Taylor. I mean, they don't really like what the cornerback either. A good call. Thank fucking God. Holy shit. Finally. All right. Look, it's over. The war is over. So he has been trash. He's so ass. Good. Sit his dumb ass down. That tells me he was just traded. Yeah, so that's what they think of Cam Britton. And if you ask me, just based on comments from the Seattle Seahawks fans about Woolen and Bengals fans about Cam Britton, I mean, I would take Woolen based off that if we decide to trade. But my honest opinion, if we're going to make any trade, Eagle Owl's opinion, I believe you shouldn't trade for a cornerback at all. And I believe you should go get an edge rusher as soon as possible. The reason why is I feel like we forgetting about Jacory and Bennett. We traded for him for a reason. You got to give him a shot and let him play a full game. I know I seen him in spurts, and I kind of been critical of him, but I got to see him in a full game. And again, if you're going to make a big splash, go for an edge rusher, but go for a young one because I see us try to trade for these older guys. Who name come to mind? The guy from Chicago. Let me know his name in the comments. I'm forgetting. Robert Quinn or something like that. He was bad. Then Kevin Byard, who's doing good in Chicago. But when we traded for an older safety because we needed a guy there bad, he wasn't good in Philadelphia. So me personally, I wouldn't do it. The last time I could remember like a mid-year trade that really worked was when we traded for Jay Ajayi. And that was years ago. But usually when we do these mid-year trades, they usually don't work out. And I don't know why. Now, we do it early in the season, maybe before the season start, like a C.J. Gardner-Johnson. When we did that a couple years ago, that worked. But when we do these mid-year trades, they usually don't work. Last year, we ain't do one at all. We won the Super Bowl. We just rock with who we rock with. Won the Super Bowl. And people kept saying, I remember that before the season started. You got to get a linebacker. We don't know about Nakobe Dean and Zach Bond. You're like, ho. Let's just see how the season play out. We don't really need to make any moves. And that's exactly what we did. We didn't make any moves. We just rock with the team. I was cool with that. But this year with edge rusher, it's different. If you're going to make a move, the reason why I'm big on Jermaine Johnson and New York is because not only will he be a move, but like now he'll be a future move. Whereas though I look at Trey Hendrickson, you basically playing a 1 year, $16 million rental. And he's 30. So you're not going to re-up on that. You better off getting somebody young, somebody you'll re-up on if you're going to make a trade. To me, it's edge rusher or nobody. Personal opinion. But that's all I got for you guys today. And hey, man, what do you think and how do you feel, man? Micah Parsons talking this talk. Should we trade for a cornerback? The injury report looking good. Jalen Hurts versus Wentz. But this is Eagle Owl, man. I'm out.